I grew up watching anime, and when I was doing it, it really wasn't a cool thing to do. Honestly, until Toonami came around, you just didn't tell people you watched the stuff. It's a bit different now, and so is the actual content. You get a lot more of it, and a large bit of it just has similar storylines. All shonen tend to have the same formula, same with isekai or shoujo, or well, you kind of get the point. I remember watching what was there, and honestly, it really wasn't much. We'd watch things like Dragon Ball and then skip the Ninja Scroll, and after that we'd finish things off with something like Akira. I promise you, those three anime couldn't be more different from each other. Now, I'm not saying this was better than it is now. It largely wasn't, if I'm being honest, but the formula for an anime hadn't been fleshed out yet, so we got all kinds of different things. Some good, some bad, but rarely the same. The formulas for today was created then. Dragon Ball kind of made what a shonen is, and if you look deep enough, you'll find the formulas for the rest of them. They all kind of started here. Now, I'm sure you'll see the name of this video and wonder, what does this have to do with a newer anime? Well, truly different things. When they come out, it catches my eye. Now, I know what I'm about to say is a big claim. There just have been some bangers that have popped up in recent years. In the last 10 years alone, you have things like Attack on Titan, JoJo, Demon Slayer, and Mob Psycho. Each one is different in its own way, but I'm not talking about these today. I will at some point for sure. I'm talking about an anime that so many people still haven't even heard of, and it kind of shocks me. Of course, I'm talking about Vinland Saga. So, how is this different from the rest? Well, to start, the setting is in the Viking era, and I don't see many Viking anime out there. Secondly, the story is a coming to age, but the depths that it goes to just make you understand human feeling and how fragile our minds is kind of amazing. It's not your typical shonen coming to age story. Then you use real people in roles that aren't necessarily historically accurate, but it's made to work nonetheless. You add in a bit of extreme human feats, and it watches or reads more like a Viking saga than an anime or manga. Now, I recorded this later than some of the other videos that will come at a later date, but I wanted to get this live before Season 2 airs in 2022. Season 1 uses real-life characters, such as Thorfinn, son of Thors, Thor Snorrenson, Torkel the Tall, Canute the Great, Ragnar, Floki, Askeladd, King Sven Forkbeard. Now, I'm going to try and do this with as few spoiled plot lines as possible, but one early one is kind of hard to avoid. That said, I want all of you to give this a shot if you haven't yet, and if you haven't heard about it, then it's absolutely worth it. Trust me on it. The story itself, it revolves around a child named Thorfinn, but at times you would lose sight of that and not think he's the main character. He takes a back seat at times to the other larger-than-life characters. The story quickly asks you, how does someone go from this to this? What would it actually take to break you? Is it seeing too much unnecessary death? Is it being forced to kill just to survive? Is it seeing the death of a loved one? Sorry, I really couldn't avoid that spoiler and still give this narrative justice, but it happens early, so you'll be alright. So breaking somebody, though, is a deep psychological topic. The scars, while not seen, can and will stay with you just as long as a superficial one. Often they lead to the creation of other scars, and eventually you begin to develop scar tissue, and you don't feel anymore. You just flip a switch inside of your mind and you give up on everything comforted in life, and live in a mental state of hardship but familiarity. As a viewer, you'll find yourself lost and confused on who you should root for, and why. Because this story just shows humanity in its rawest form, even when that's uncomfortable. It shows we can be monsters, but it also shows we can be saints. There are moments of love sprinkled into a world that sorely lacks it, but even in some of those times, the outcome is unfortunate. It's just how we're wired. The truth is, these characters, they all live in a gray zone. So ask yourself, are you evil if you do evil deeds to protect or provide for yourself or your family? And if so, from whose perspective are you evil? History is written by the victors is an old saying, and it's absolutely true. Right now in our own world, look at any war zone or heated political environment. Whatever side one person is on, they'll believe that they are the good ones, and the others must be evil. This story actually asks this in a very in-your-face way. Then there's the idea that You can spend most of your life fighting for a specific ideal or goal, and most people fail in accomplishing what has driven them through their years. You know, the whole no such thing as a storybook ending. We all suffered this at least once in our lives. If we're over the age of 10, failure is the norm, while success is an aberration. It's not common. You can't just want to be something, and if you want it bad enough, it'll happen. Look, I'm 5'9". I'm never going to be able to dunk on LeBron James. That's just a fact. That's life. However, wanting something bad enough and achieving it is a common trope within shonen. And our main protagonist, while he is young, he fails. Constantly. As does almost everyone around him. I'm sure you're seeing all the blood and gore and guts, veins in their teeth, eating dead burnt bodies. They kill. And think this is just way too violent. I don't want to watch murder porn. You might be missing out on all the beautiful moments that are sprinkled in. The story will make you cry. It makes you feel things that really aren't easy to explain. With all the death and destruction, Makoto Yukimura, the creator and writer, still manages to tell a story with real heart. The score, it's amazing. Both openings and endings, I just fell in love with them. They fit the show perfectly. Drown and Torches are slow, beautiful songs that are somber yet fit after what you just watched. While Survive Said the Prophet and Dark Crow are upbeat, fast songs that get you ready for the ride you're about to take to start the show. The art style, it's plain. It's not something you'll be telling everyone about, but it doesn't look bad either. It simply does the job, and that's enough, because the story drives it. It's released by Wit Studio, who has a pretty good track record of not putting out bad animes, and it's directed by Shuhei Yabuta, who helped direct Attack on Titan, so I would say that this was in very good hands. Season 2 is coming out in 2022, probably third or fourth quarter, but a set release date has yet to be given. So this is perfect time with plenty of time to catch up and refamiliarize yourself with it. Season 1 was about breaking someone. If you love that story because of the violence, you might be disappointed in Season 2. I'd say Season 2 is about accepting yourself after you've been broken and attempting to rebuild, and maybe even ultimately liking yourself again. That said, I'm up to date with the manga books and can say for certain it's worth the slower second season. The violence will be less active and the characters are more front and center, but the growth that you're going to see is inspiring. I can't recommend this more to anyone. It's 100% worth the watch or read. Had the anime not been released in the United States on Amazon Prime, I'm certain it would have received a lot more fanfare. If its home was on Netflix or Crunchyroll, there's no telling how many people would be constantly talking about it. I do know that I know of no one who has watched this and not loved it. This may just be the best anime to come out in recent years, and strangely, a lot of people have never seen it. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this, and tell a friend. Drop a comment and let me know if you've seen Vinland Saga, and if so, what you thought of this. And if you haven't, did I convince you to give it a look-see? These are the easiest ways to help creators you enjoy out, and it costs you nothing. The plan right now is each week I'm going to release a new video, and I think I'm going to alternate between video games and anime. So with that, until the next time, I hope you all live happy lives.